Hi guys, Joss Allen from gak.co.uk here. Today we're going to be checking out 3 of my top guitars that I have chosen for under £400. I've gone for the sort of classic vibe really. I've gone for a Strat, a Tele and a Les Paul. So covering the basics of the big sort of 2 big brands, Gibson and Fender. So I have to my left here, I have a Epiphone Les Paul Standard Plustop PRO. I have a Squier 50s Classic Vibe Telecaster and a Squier 50s Classic Vibe Stratocaster as well. So these 2 guitars are within the same sort of range, that 50s year specific style guitar. So what we're going to do is basically I'm just going to go through all 3 guitars. I'm going to pick one up, we're going to run you through the specs, hear what it sounds like, and then we'll move on to the next one. So the first one we're going to start with is the 50s Classic Vibe Telecaster. So yeah, cheers guys. So this is the Classic Vibe 50s Telecaster in vintage blonde. As you can see, it is an absolute beautiful guitar, especially for the under £400 mark. The cool thing with these Classic Vibe sort of Squier guitars is that you get an unbelievable amount of guitar for the amount of money that you end up paying for these things. So, specifications. So the body on this guitar is actually a pine body. On this model, we have a maple neck with obviously a maple fretboard as well. We've got Squier's vintage custom single coil pickups in these models that are sort of specific for this guitar. We've got a 3-way selector switch, your master tone and your master volume. Another touch to it, which I think is really nice, is the vintage ashtray bridge, but you have brass saddles on these guitars, which is a really, really nice touch, I personally think. If we flip it over, obviously you can see that it's a through body, so you string through here. You got your Squier by Fender 4-screw plate on the back, and then obviously your vintage style Squier tuning pegs as well. So what we're going to do is, I've dialed in a tone on the multi-amp, which is like meant to be sort of a JCM 800 sort of style, so I can back off on the volume to clean it up as well. So let's run through the pickup selections. So first off, let's see what the bridge sounds like. So that was the bridge. Let's move to the middle selection and see what that sounds like. Really honky, really lovely and mid-rangey, great selection for 2 pickups at the same time. Let's move to the neck so we can get that beautiful classic Telecaster neck tone. See what it sounds like. So an absolute beautiful guitar for the amount of money that you end up paying for this. So that is the the Squier Classic Vibe 50s Telecaster in Vintage Blonde. So let's move on to the next one, which is going to be the Epiphone Les Paul Standard Plustop PRO. So this is the Epiphone Plustop PRO Les Paul Standard. Let's run you through the specifications on this one. So what we have is we have a mahogany body with a mahogany neck and a rosewood fretboard. This model has got a 60 slim profile fretboard, so it's a neck, sorry. So it's a really comfortable, quite slim neck to play. What we have is we've got Epiphone's Pro-Buckers, which sound absolutely fantastic in the bridge and the neck. We've got our standard 3-way selector switch for the neck, middle and bridge. A nice little touch that they've done with these guitars is enable coil tapping for the humbuckers, so you can get those almost twangy single coil tones that you can achieve out of, say, a Telecaster or a Stratocaster. And then we have our two master tone knobs as well. If we flip the guitar over, you've got a selection of Grover tuning machine heads as well, which is a really nice touch. So for a guitar under £400, you get mahogany rosewood, Epiphone's ProBuckers, coil tapping capabilities, and USA built Grover tuners. Can't go wrong with that. So let's see what this guitar sounds like and start off with the bridge. So if we back off the volume slightly, and then I can show you what the coil tap sounds like. So. So without the coil tap. And then with. So you can hear the difference. It's a nice spankier, sort of slightly lower output sound. And finally, let's move to the neck humbucker, and I'll also show you the coil tapping capabilities as well with that. So let's try it with the coil tapping. So this is with. And this is without. One more time, with the coil tap. And without. So that was the Epiphone Les Paul Plustop PRO with this rather beautiful veneer top on it. Let's move on to the Classic Vibe 50s Stratocaster. Cool, so this is the Classic Vibe 50s Stratocaster in a 2-color Sunburst. Let's run you through the specs on this model. So first off, bodywood. We have an older bodywood on this one. Once again, same as the Telecaster, we have a modern C-shaped maple neck with a maple fretboard. With this one, same sort of realm of pickups as this one. It's got the Classic Vibe 50s style vintage single coils in all positions. We have a 5-way selector switch, so we can get a multitude, an absolute plethora of tones out of this guitar. Volume, and then your 2 tones as well. And on the back of the guitar, same as the Telecaster, we've got those vintage style Squier tuning heads as well. Obviously, the difference with these guitars is that those two are hardtails, and this one is a tremolo system. So it's got a Squier trem system on there as well. So let's run you through the pickup selections. There's a little bit more to get through, so let's start with the bridge. So that was the bridge. I think the most surprising thing about all of these guitars is that they're absolutely beautiful guitars to play. So you don't feel like you're struggling, or that there's any sort of spots on the neck of each of these three guitars that it's hard to play. So let's move on to the next selection, which I call position 2, which is the bridge and the middle at the same time. So let's see what that sounds like. So it's got, the only way that I can ever explain that sort of pickup selection to people is it's got a really glassy sort of sound, a really cutting sound, but it's not too harsh. Let's try the middle position. Really nice, useful rhythm sound for a Strat there. Let's go with my personal favorite setting on a Strat, which is the second to last position. So let's see what that sounds like on this. Really beautiful sound, especially on this guitar. I'm blown away by how incredibly close to a sort of a Fender that actually sounds. And final position, let's go for the neck pickup. Cool, so that was the Fender Classic Vibe 50 Stratocaster. So just to recap on the guitars we had a look at, we've got the Epiphone Les Paul Standard Plustop PRO, we've got the 50 Strat, and then we've got the Classic Vibe 50's Squier Telecaster as well. So all of these guitars are available for you to try down at the guitar store now. So make sure you come down, check them out, try them for yourselves. I swear you won't be disappointed. Also, there is a plethora of other guitars in the store, obviously, for you to check out as well. So if there's anything within this sort of budget that you wanted to check out at the store, the gents in the store will be more than happy to help you out with that. So I hope you enjoyed the sort of demo of the 3 Christmas bangers, as I'm going to call them. So yeah, thank you very much, guys. Cheers.